Welcome, my friends, to another edition of More Bad News, brought to you, as always, by Camel Cigarettes. Take the Camels Challenge. Smoke Camels for 30 days and see for yourself what a difference Camels can make in your life. My friends, we don't sell anything else on this channel. We don't sell hope, and we don't sell a future. We don't sell an ideology or a theology. We really are only selling Camel Cigarettes. Take the Camels Challenge. That's the only product that we are selling. So as I've been saying all along, things get more dismal as we go, and it's a shock to the system. However, there are micro environments, and in the little environment that I live in, we were out in the woods yesterday, and things have just been going. Well for us. We recently got a surprise approval for a very expensive medication that is going to prove, we hope, extremely helpful for my partner. While everything in the world is collapsing, our world remains stable, and we can enjoy life. Just, we eat well, we exercise, we love each other, we go out into the woods, we have grandchildren, we have a life. And it resembles a normal life, except for the fact that there is no future. And if you just don't want to focus on that and go down a rabbit hole to all the horrible things that are going to happen to the grandchildren. You want to stay away from that and just enjoy them as they are now. So uh, recently, a longtime friend of mine uh, ghosted me. We were in the middle of something, and just stopped communicating. I don't know why. I don't know what I said or did to offend, but it started me thinking about ghosts in my past. And the ghosts are people who you really cared for, you loved. I mean, this is not just, I mean, all my life there have been people who, hate me, dislike me. In my student evaluations, there were always half the students thought I was terrible, and the other half, really appreciated and loved what I did and enjoyed it. So I always had, my evaluations were always right in the middle, with just about as many people hating the course as loving the course, and that was the way I thought it should be. I mean, you're not there for everybody. But this is different. This is people who I had great affection for, and for one reason or another, the relationship ended, and they became ghosts in my life. Uh, and the, the first one that comes to mind is my relationship with Russell. And I sort of wanted to tell that story. Uh, I Let me see if I can share my screen here. Share my screen to that and share. Let's see if that comes up. Yes. Okay. So uh, uh, this is from 1979. It's an organization that I started called uh, People Organized to Stop Rape of Imprisoned Persons. And it was started by Russell Smith and I. I was the founder of the International Committee to Free Russell Smith. So I'm going to tell you the story about Russell and how this got started. Now, this is 1979. Today, this is a wonderful organization called Just Detention International. But I'm going to stop the share, go back here. All right, so it was an effort that I made, the most successful thing that I ever did in my life, the thing that I'm really most proud of. I was young and active in the gay community. I was bisexual, basically. I was having sex with a lot of people, men and women, tall and short, I mean, fat and thin. I mean, I was very, very promiscuous. Okay. So, and I ran into the police on three different occasions where I might have been arrested. And when I looked into, what would happen if I was arrested and sent to the jail, I heard all these disturbing stories about young men getting arrested, thrown in jail, and then being raped. Um, and so I uh, uh, ran a workshop on this at a national conference on for men and masculinity at Washington University. We had this conference, and I did a session on men in prison, rape in prison. People don't really, at that time, especially didn't think about rape in terms of men being raped. Um, and I also found that at Marion Federal Penitentiary, which is around the corner from me, I was in St. Louis, Missouri. Marion Federal Penitentiary, there was a young gay activist, one of the famous Marion brothers, and he was bringing a suit against the federal prison system. The federal prison system did not allow gay prisoners to receive gay literature, gay magazines, the gay news and whatever, the Advocate, because they said it would identify them as homosexuals and then would lead to them being raped. And Russell said, I'm already being raped. Everybody knows that I'm a victim here. This is my access to a community outside that might lend me some support. He was suing the federal government to allow gay prisoners to receive gay literature. Very good. So I stepped up and started to support his efforts by publicizing what he was doing outside. And then right before his case was to come to court, the prison system uh, released him as a federal prisoner, gave him back all of his good time, and charged him with attempted murder in a case that had happened several months earlier, where somebody had tried to rape him, and he took a shard of glass and slit the guy's throat and nearly killed him. And they at the time they said that they understood the situation, they weren't going to prosecute. But now, right before he's going to go to federal court and sue the federal prison system, they decided that they would charge. So once they dropped him as a federal prisoner and he was now charged, he was being incarcerated for a pending trial. His case became moot. They shipped him off to Lompoc, California, and that's when I organized the International Committee to Free Russell Smith. At that time, there was a gay movement all around the world, and all I had to do was write up the story and send it to Amsterdam and Germany and England and they all republished it. And I was just becoming an international journalist, trying to help Russell get out of prison. To my utter amazement and surprise, you never know what you can actually accomplish. They let him go. At some point, I so annoyed them. They were getting, Human Rights Watch was bothering them, and Amnesty International was looking at them. He wasn't a high profile anything. He was just this punk kid, and they were just tired of dealing with this shit. So they said, Mailer, you want him? Here is yours. And they shipped him off to St. Louis, just as I was forming my relationship with my second wife, Jennifer. And so, I remember I wanted to have a baby, and the first thing I said to Jennifer was that, there'll be no contraception. I want pregnancy as soon as possible. And Russell came to live with us. Now, he came from solitary confinement, years of incarceration. He was abused from childhood. He was born in Appalachia. A horrendous history. But he was really smart, and he wrote really well, and he would write me these long letters. They're all available, by the way, if you're interested in the story. The Labate collection at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor has all the correspondence between Russell and I and the material related to the story I'm telling you right now. So I fell in love with him, and he moved into the apartment, and together we established the People Organized to Stop Rape of Imprisoned Persons. But Russell suffered from a very, very severe case of agoraphobia. You can save somebody from prison, but you can't take all the life experiences that he's had. He was extremely broken person, motivated, driven, smart, but basically uh, inside really damaged, and he began to resent the fact that I had got him out of prison, uh, and uh, he began to become more and more irrationally angry at me. And I could see it was building, and he would get drunk and he would, you know, so when I was keeping a machete, Jenny and I were sleeping in his bed in this apartment. He had a bedroom in the apartment as well, and I was keeping a machete under the mattress because I he was becoming so violent and irrational. And sure enough, one night, drunk, he bursts into the bedroom with his knife in his hand, and I pull out the machete. So he's got his knife, and I've got this machete, and I said, "Russell, you want to die?" It was a kind of a moment of truth. The next day, Jenny and I moved out, found an apartment a few blocks away. We moved everything out over to this other apartment, and we left Russell to his own devices. He soon moved to Chicago, but the seed, the organization that we started, actually thrived. It continued on. Uh, Tom Cahill took it over, and it became Stop Prison Rape. And from there, it just had a whole history. And a few years ago, for several years, it's been nominated for a Nobel Prize. Um, Maybe in the future, the focus on rape they focus on rape not only in prison around the world, but in incarcerated people uh, altogether, male and female. So that's their organization's very, very fine organization. Yeah, Just Detention International. Check them out. So, but then he left really hating me. I was a horrible person, and disappeared from my life. Uh, and then a few years ago, I get a call from people at Just Attention, where I'm a big hero. It's like the founder, the original, and they said, "Would you be willing to talk to Dan? He expressed an interest in talking to you." Now he had threatened to kill me years ago. But that was all forgotten. He actually no longer remembered any of that. He was homeless. Um, he uh, he had survived, but he had a tough life. Uh, and so we spoke a little bit, and he was glad to be able to talk to me again. And that was one of the ghosts in my life. There have been many others, but I've been thinking about these people who just disappear. I don't know what I've done. I don't know exactly how I offended. With Russell, I really have a better idea of what I did. No good deed goes unpunished. That's the moral of this story. And that'll probably do it for this week. It's Shabbos, Parshas Noach, a great parsha, and uh, we'll see you in 2 weeks with more bad news. Stay safe.